Hello, welcome to MissGuided Magic on R&R Productions. I am your DM, Maria Oglesby, and this is our all-fem homebrew 5e game where players use both brawn and brains to uncover the mysteries of Omalia. We are joined today by Chris.
Hi.
Allison.
Hi. Hello.
Kristen.
Hey.
And Beth.
Hey.
And this week, Abby is off on a side quest, but she will be back next week. So last we left, the team assembled at the Palace of Vertogen, speaking briefly with the king, reaffirming the urgency of their mission before taking the teleportation scroll to Fendere. However, the teleportation scroll was sabotaged in some way, and the teleportation was interrupted, transporting you all to a demi-plane where you uncovered the bodies and a journal of the past party that had been presumably lost at sea from the diplomatic mission about 20 years ago. Noticing that there were over 20 years of decay on the bodies and just skeletons remained, you did manage to uncover a journal that was magically protected. And apparently the various people who were in the diplomatic party did not necessarily have the skills needed to survive, but one of them was a magic user and had begun to construct a teleportation circle out of there. However, you did know that in order to find the teleportation circle, you are going to need to find the dead bodies of his companions, because although he was able to sort of create a warding spell that would stop the ground, which seems to be made up of living forest, from eating them if their bodies were to fall, they weren't sure if it would offer enough protection to keep them alive. And with plants and venomous creatures closing in on them, they split the party. And while the wizard, DeJorn Waslin, stayed to etch what he believed would have been their teleportation circle home, had the rest of the area been mapped and the appropriate sigils applied. However, it looked like he had been attacked by some sort of sentient vine and perished. It did look like he had completed his measure of the circle. And as the party journeyed to find the rest of the scraps of paper and the bodies of the former political party, you encountered some vines that almost killed you. Brosco encountered a charming sort of swamp creature, and the first piece of paper with the appropriate sigils in hand. You guys journeyed away from the swampy area to the east in search of the next sigil. What would you guys like to do? You guys have just escaped from the swamp area. Currently, you are sort of looking over this demi-plane full of this hazy purple smoke. There's this acidic scent in the air. You're using makeshift masks to shield yourself somewhat from it. And there's a number of plants and sort of bog life around you.
Brasco kind of gets himself to his feet and, oh God. Okay, that wasn't fun.
Are you all right?
She
Yeah.
seemed to like you.
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
I think she more just didn't want anybody touching that guy's bones. Which I did find, and he'll take the scrap of paper out and show the group. The rest of him was pretty much liquefied, but this must have a little bit of magic left in it, that it's still around. So, and
That's great.
Hone points to it. Yes, that is what we need for the teleportation circle. I'm glad that you risked your life, I guess, to get it.
Well, if I'd rather die trying to get out of here than just die here. So,
Yeah.
should one of us carry all these scraps of paper? That way, if we do get split up, one person has all of them? Is that, I don't know.
I mean, they split their party and look at what happened to them.
I know.
Yeah, I don't want to split up. I'm just saying, I don't know, one of us get dragged into the swamps or some nonsense and we lose a piece or something. I don't know.
Well, and
what
not to be
happens that
morbid,
one
but
person
hmm,
who
Yeah,
has all the papers
Yeah.
got dragged into.
but
Yeah, that's a good
if
point.
none of us make it, it might be beneficial for the next group to have everything, all in one place.
Yeah. Well, I guess
I
I'll
would like
I'll
to
hang.
live.
Yeah, I'll hang on to this piece for now, but maybe we keep going and see if we can maybe at least take a stop back at the cave or something, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe keep them all in one spot, not necessarily on a person.
That's a good plan. That's a good one. I like that idea.
I agree.
All right.
Well, I mean, where should we go to continue looking? This is
Well, we had multiple directions to go, and if it said they all split up and went different directions, we have now gone into the boggy area. There's still the forest and the other area that I can't remember.
Bog Part 2.
Probably. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I don't, is there any benefit to going further in this direction? Or should we just back up?
Bresco looks out into the swamp and is like, I'd rather not.
Maybe we continue on until we hit a time that
Unless
we know
we
we can
have.
still make it back to the cave before nightfall.
Yeah.
What time
Sounds
is it,
reasonable.
actually? That's a good question to ask now.
Well, when you left, it was mid-morning. However, it's been some time since you've gotten here, and make a nature check.
It's just been kind of hazy the whole time.
Can I have Beetle make a nature check since mine was a -1? Beetle's like, I will try and tell the day or the time. Ooh, that's a 21.
Right, Beetle kind of glancing up and squinting suspiciously at the sky ahead, says, "This light looks the same as when we arrived." You get the sense from what you know, even in a hazy area, such as a swamp that she's very used to, she would know that you would see some change in lighting normally. You can gather this an unnatural form of light.
Good to know. Good to know.
That's not disconcerting at all.
Or very.
I vote that we
either
turn
have all the
around.
time or very little time.
Yeah. We should keep moving. Maybe back to one of the other directions. You're right, Scoria. If they split up, we should check all our
Yeah.
avenues.
Agreed.
Maria, can I look back at the journal just to confirm how many pieces or people went to split up? Like how many pieces of the magic paper we need for the teleportation circle, just to make sure.
It's just the
Jorn
one.
was the one whose body you had found in the cave, who'd been trying to make the circle. Selenar, the tabaxi, had fallen first and been swallowed in some way by the ground. So created some sort of ward, and Glenn, Nura, and Iliad had journeyed in separate directions to try and map the rest of the demiplane.
Okay. So Selenar is the body that Brasco took the paper from.
No, you found a potentially humanoid body, but you are
okay.
of which of the three it is.
Yeah, the
Okay.
tabaxi, as far as we know, is still in the ground somewhere.
Yeah, I
It
tried
wouldn't
to
have
find, I tried to look for any identifying marks on the body, but that's when our friend arrived. So that didn't work out.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, let's check out the other areas.
And maybe we head into the forest. I don't want to go into the forest. And that's kind of why I feel like maybe we should get that out of the way first.
Okay, yeah, there was
Fair
that.
enough.
To the east, there was a forest, or to the east, there was a swampy area. To the west, a forest area. To the north, the haze got even thicker.
That's right.
Mm.
We
So
just
let's head back to where we were.
Yeah.
Then when we reach the cave, we can figure out a spot to keep the paper so that if we do get lost, at least that paper is at the cave, and then go to the other 2 locations.
Good, fair. Good point.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you head to the cave. It's an easy enough trek, I would say, with beetle survival, just sort of like getting yourself back. There are a few treacherous areas. So somebody go ahead and make me a survival check. If somebody else is helping, you can roll with advantage.
I'll do it.
Nice.
Scorio help by like, oh, well, in our marsh, our bog, this means this. And
So I was like, why does my character sheet look so weird? I was on my bard. Wrong one.
Roscoe, you've changed.
For the help action,
Everything is different now.
Go
so
ahead
for
and
the
roll.
help action, is that added? Is there? I'm sorry, I'm not used to
The
being
help
help.
action, you roll at advantage. So roll twice.
Oh, advantage. Okay, got it. Cool. So yeah, 16.
Okay. You're able to navigate easily enough through things. It's more difficult for you to notice coming back this way just because of the way the foliage is arranged. And there are a couple areas where you like step a little too deep in something, you get covered in goo up to your knee, but it's nothing horrible. And you're able to sort of guide everybody more or less harm-free past everything. Making your way back to the cave. Currently, it seems unchanged.
I suppose that's better than the alternative.
It's fair. I would say you notice as you move up next to the cave, the sheer rock face that the cave is built into seems to go on and on, kind of disappearing into the haze behind you, going both like east and west, sort of pushing up against the edge of the marsh. And aside from your cave, you don't see very many other entrances, at least not at your height.
I'm gonna head into the cave and go towards the sigil.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick up the skull
Oh.
of the guy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
As
tuck.
soon as you do that, the vine wrapped around his neck starts to move. I'd like you to roll initiative.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry. I thought,
Oh,
let me pull up the encounter again.
Ah,
I was gonna hide the piece of paper in the skull. I thought that would be like a clever.
I'm just
if
saying,
did we all follow in, or is he fighting him on his own?
I did say I probably would have told you guys. Realistically, I probably would have said I'm gonna go put the paper in like with the body so that it's at least there and we know where it is. So
I feel like I at least would have followed in.
yeah, you
Right.
certainly don't have to, but I do think I would have at least. I wouldn't have just like stormed into the thing and been like, I have a plan.
yeah.
But
you got a little ways away.
Yeah.
I had a thought and it wasn't what I thought it was. I rolled that's a 22
Okay.
for initiative.
All right. You go first. So as soon as you grab onto this skull, the vine that was wrapped around this skeleton's neck begins to unfurl and reach towards you.
I'm going to disengage if that's acceptable, rather than actually fight it, and back up.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna I'll disengage, and I guess I'll just move 30 feet back because I saw what this thing did to I saw what this very similar thing did to Beetlebug last time, and I have no interest in dealing with that. Let me try to remember how fast 30 of how 5, 10, 15. Okay, I can get back to you guys. I'm gonna be like, okay, that's okay. The thing around its neck is alive.
Do you still have the piece of paper?
Yeah, I went to pick the skull up, and it
Okay.
just didn't happen.
Got it. Okay.
that was quite a good idea. Unfortunately, we did not foresee that happening.
Oh.
The vine just sort of twists out from under the skeleton, sort of inches blindly towards you, feeling around, stopping about here, and just sort of like flailing, like almost like a worm, probing in different directions, looking for something before going still.
Yucky.
Is it better to get rid of it now or when we come back?
It's probably better to deal with it now, especially we don't want anything. We don't want to be surprised later. At least now we know it's there and we can do something about it.
Fair. Well,
I guess.
you want to take a whack at it?
Sure. I'll take out my short bow actually, and I'll go. Scoria, do you mind if I can you light a couple of bows on fire, or can you light one of my arrows on fire?
She just casts produce flame in her hand and holds it up, so
Yeah.
you have purple flame for your.
Yeah, I'll light one of my arrows on fire, and I'll take a shot at the at where I know the creature is, so that I can maybe catch it unawares and on fire.
Okay. So since this creature is essentially blind, you would have advantage, so you can get a surprise round on there.
Sweet. That's a 22, but let me see if I can get a critical. No, it's not a critical, but it is 25.
That hits.
All right, so that gives me, sorry, short bow, d6, and then an additional 2d6, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, sneak attack depends on your level, so just under action, scroll down. It should tell you how many sneak attack dice you get right now.
I think it should just be 1 right now.
Oh no, it's 2.
Oh, is it 2 now?
Yeah, go figure. I guess level 3. I don't know.
Oh, that makes sense. My rogue is level 2 in my other game.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 14 damage total. 9 of that is fire damage.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. The creature just sort of cries out with the sound of like hissing sap, and starts squirming and writhing towards you. It's going to move 5 feet. I guess it can dash 10 feet. All right. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I'm not going to have you roll initiative at this point because it's not dramatic of a situation. Does it want to jump in with anything as you guys sort of all look around?
Eldritch Blast.
Potentially for the first time, you are in the company of fellow mages or very capable warriors. This isn't something that you guys are used to. Usually you are the only magic user in a room.
Yeah, Scoria's going to go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast.
So Scoria raises her hand, a ball of bright purple fire manifesting in her fist.
That's a 23 to hit. D10.
A lot less scary when
8
someone.
points of damage.
Yes.
It's a lot less scary.
When someone isn't actually like actively being held by the thing.
And dying twice in a row.
Yes.
Yeah, a big upgrade from that.
All right. Going to continue squirming towards you.
Hone is just watching it squirm towards everyone.
Okay.
It's getting a little close there, Han. You might want to back up a little bit. I'm gonna just move to the side.
Okay. You guys watch it sort of inchworming towards you, backing up as you do so. The creature just sort of moves around, and as it sort of lifts up, you see this sort of like open, almost leech-like mouth, just sort of like sucking, questing in the air.
Can I do steady aim and shoot it again?
Yeah, definitely. Well, no, you moved this round.
Oh shit, that's right. All right. I'll just shoot it again anyway.
Okay.
With a regular arrow. 16?
Yeah, that hits.
6
you guys
damage.
are going to continue to just sort of hit it the distance as it is towards.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
I'm going to move you all back a bit. And see if you can kill it when it gets about here.
Okay, good.
I mean, you're all.
I'll roll another Eldritch Blast.
And I collect.
That's a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, you big time killed it.
So you burn its corpse.
14 points.
Watches Brosco's arrow sinks into it. The creature like screams and just sort of rolls over, exposing its sort of like half fleshy, half root like underbelly. And then Scoria comes in with this giant fireball and just completely eviscerates it. It's just sort of like sizzled and burnt. It smells kind of good, actually, like when you toast s'more sticks.
Ooh, I like it. Can I collect my arrows possibly?
I eat
Yeah,
it.
arrows, you can collect half of them. The other half, the shaft breaks when you pull them out.
All right, so I get one back. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You said it smells good, right?
This was like burning vegetation, I guess. It probably smells like, I don't know. I don't want to say incense,
Probably
but
not edible, yeah.
no, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, it smells more like a bonfire than like a snack.
Well, since
Nah.
that failed, I vote that we just like dig a little hole in the dirt. Oh no, there's stuff in the dirt. Never mind. Scratch that.
Well, this is stone. This is one
Oh,
of the
stone.
few
Oh, okay,
areas
okay.
found that does not have dirt underneath it.
How about we find a rock and we put a rock on top of the paper and leave it just right here?
I'm just looking in my
Sure.
inventory. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I have? I have an empty flask from because I used up one of my oil, my flasks of oil at last episode. Can I put it in the flask and just let it sit like right here, maybe?
Do you have prestidigitation?
For
Well, the flask is still going to have oil on the inside. Like when you use up an olive oil container or something, you know, it's not perfectly clean.
no, I don't. Never mind.
If you want to, you
I don't
can, but it
either.
will get oily.
Nah, I won't do that.
I also worry
I
that
actually
none of our
do-
fingers are small enough to, get it out of
That's-
there once
Oh,
it's
that's
right.
true.
Yeah,
Unless
it
we
was
just
a-
break it.
I mean, we could. That's an
Um,
We could also
idea.
just
I
leave the
do-
paper on us the whole time. I think we're forgetting that part. Maybe this is a sign that we should hold on to it and not trust anything in this place.
All right. Well, I'd prefer to maybe give it to somebody who sticks in the background a little bit. I have a tendency
I
to get
have-
in.
I have like a giant, or not giant, but like a decent sized jug that's 4 pounds. We stick it in the jug. Leave that on the ground.
I'll turn to Julianne and say, you tend to stick back
True.
from combat, right?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
can
I
hold on
tend
to
to
it.
get in. Yeah, I tend to get in a little closer. I'd rather not. So I'll give it to Julianne for now.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. So Julian, you can see this is curved runes, and it looks as if it's meant to be, you know, like written into a specific spot.
Okay. Perfect. I'll keep it safely in my coat.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can do that.
All right, we're burning magical daylight. We should probably get going. I can't imagine that things will get better out there as time goes on.
Let's head to the forest then, as planned.
Yeah,
Head west.
sounds good to me.
I would like
I'm
somebody.
good with that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said I'm good with that. Sorry.
All right. You guys look out into the marsh, seeing a more forested area off to your left, and begin to slog through. I'd like somebody to roll a survival check, please.
I'll do it again.
Sure.
Ayo, 24.
Ooh.
All right. Hone pushes through the various underbrush, and you can see as you're moving, there are a number of sort of vines and foliage on the dead trees, and you just barely avoid, as you lead the party past some of them, several of the vines drop, and you jump backward in time into a puddle as the vines begin to wriggle and writhe, similar to the vines that you had found in the cave. Stepping back and hastily moving around, you guys are able to sort of navigate around them, but you do notice the farther in you get, the more dense these vines become, slightly changing in nature. They go from being like these like sort of squat fat roots to being like these really long roots that look as if they're interconnected, almost like a root system. You can see as some lift up out of the air, as some move into the trees, there are a number of vines that are connected at various points. Pushing forward, I would say with that survival check, you do notice that after a while, all of the dead trees begin to give way, the swamp becoming a little bit more patchy in places so that it's not quite as muddy and puddly. And you see one living tree up ahead. It's very large. It seems healthy. And as it pushes up, it's got like a sort of almost sheen to it. Like it looks shiny almost.
Thanks for the inspiration, Chad.
Julian will look at Hone. You're the expert. What do we do now?
Good question. I kind of blanked out for a little bit. So sorry, what are we looking at right now?
Hone! You're killing us.
I'm assuming you guys are making your way towards it, unless there's something else you'd like to do or a different way you'd like to approach the tree.
The tree, and you said it was sort of
Shiny.
shiny. Yeah. Okay.
Shiny tree.
That could either be very good or very bad.
I would like to investigate it.
Yeah, I'll help, but I'm gonna I'm gonna just stick behind Hone as he gets closer, and just like if I'm gonna keep an eye out so that if I have to yank him back, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, I also just realized that I have natural explorer and forest is my preferred natural environment. So I don't know
Your
if that-
favorite terrain?
Yeah, favorite terrain.
Okay, we can remember that for future.
Yeah, I was like looking through it. I was like, I don't remember, but yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair. In the
But I
forest,
said,
so you can make ability checks at advantage if they're, I believe, survival or history based on
okay,
like information or exploring that specific area.
got it. But yeah, I'll make an investigation check on the tree.
Okay, so make that with advantage since Brosco is helping you as you move forward. What is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 15.
Okay.
So 16.
Okay. So as you move forward towards the tree, gathering closer, let me grab Brosco and Han up here. You begin to investigate it. And as you sort of like root through, you notice off to the side a glint of white and a large bony snout sticking out from a tangle of roots. As you step forward, your foot lands in this sort of like black gooey sludge, something that you couldn't see through before. And your normally keen elven eyes weren't able to penetrate it. And something wraps around your foot and starts dragging you inwards.
Do I have enough time to maybe grab him?
You can use your reaction to grab him.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. And just kind of.
My turn.
As the thing grabs you, the roots sort of lift up, and you realize that the roots of the tree are all sort of interconnected and wound together, and this sort of coiled root-like monster emerges, moving up and towards you. Let me go ahead and I'd like you guys to roll initiative, please.
Ah.
Okie dokie.
Ooh. That is a
Right.
natural 20.
Nice.
For
a total of
22.
All right, Sporia.
8 and Beetlebug 5.
Okay, Brosco.
12.
All right.
Not my best work.
I would say this creature is going to have a surprise round on you guys, and then we're going to go ahead and start initiative.
Cool.
So it's making its first attack at home, and that's an 8 and an 11 to hit. Does that hit you even?
No.
Damn.
Aha.
Okay. The creature wraps its roots around you, but Brosco, seeing this, quickly pulls you back, sort of like yanking you back to him, and the roots in this slippery sludge lose their grasp and sort of move sort of like almost snake-like through it, writhing up to form this creature. However, it has missed you. During this time, let me bring this over the token layer. Another creature begins to move, sort of writhing around the skeleton that you're seeing. As it does, parts of the roots seem to open, and it sort of absorbs the skeleton into it, just these masses of roots closing over it to form a shell as it starts moving towards you, creating the vague impression of a creature that is sort of trying to stand upright, but definitely is not humanoid.
Why?
Creepy. Hate it.
Okay. It's going to use its turn to move towards you. Let me just double check its movement. Okay.
Is this all this stuff like a wall or just ground?
That's swamp water.
Okay, cool. Ooh,
So swampy areas and sludgy areas are considered difficult terrain. The rest you can move normally in.
okay.
All right. Julianne, you're up first.
Okay, fantastic. So Julian is going to move about here. And then I'm just checking the distance. Oh, yeah. Okay. She is going to send out a guiding bolt
Okay.
because that's
Uh,
what
which-
I do.
Here.
That is an 18 to hit.
Right. Which one are you aiming for?
Oh, I'm sorry. The red one, so the one to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, that does hit.
Okay, fantastic. So that is 4d6. 9. 16 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
Oh,
And the next attack roll made against that guy has advantage.
Sweet.
it
Right.
Um,
You watch as this gleaming bolt of sort of gray-white energy rockets toward the creature and covers it in this sheen, almost as if like a shooting star has hit it. The creature begins to wither ever so slightly. The tendrils of its like roots sort of shriveling almost before it like starts shuffling forward in this sort of shambling gait more quickly. Then the creature's turn. So this green one is going to continue trying to attack home. And that's going to be a 15 and a 22. What's your AC, home?
it's 12.
Okay. So then it's going to hit you twice.
E.
You're going to take 20 points of bludgeoning damage. And you were considered grappled by this creature. This creature moves and these enormous sort of like root tendrils come up and slam you into the ground, wrapping around you. You feel yourself grabbed and squeezed, and you have a brief flash of being hit by something similar in the past, or of looking over, you see in your memory a battering ram, and you hear the familiar sense of pressure and then the crunch of ribs. And you realize for just a millisecond that something similar has hit you before in a completely different situation. But then soon that scrap of memory is gone as you hit your head on the bog and this creature starts pulling you towards it. As this happens, the tree, which let me go ahead and sort of show you where the center of it is. That's where the trunk is. Begins to crack, and this long rope sort of moves outside of the trunk, moving around almost as if it's a tongue, sort of like seeking purchase. As the roots and the bark of the tree begin to pull apart at the seam, you see a number of roots inside roiling and just sort of like crawling outwards as if waiting to be fed something. The creature currently has you grappled. This creature is going to move over to Brosco.
Right.
It's a 17 and a 13 to hit, Brosco.
13 misses, 17 hits.
All right, so Brosco, this creature slams out at you, and you manage to duck, but you don't realize that another root has crept up behind you and grabs you by the foot, pulling you down for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. You are also considered grappled. Right. Julianne, you have battle experience with creatures like this. Not necessarily these creatures. These seem a little different, but in the grotto, you have encountered things similar to this before. Go ahead and roll me a history check.
I would love to.
Another Reese's Pieces cup because I'm stressed.
One must. That is a dirty 20.
Okay. You've seen these creatures like this before, noticing their gait, noticing the way they move. When you encounter things like this in the grotto, there are certain procedures for it. This is not the sort of thing where like every time you encountered something in the grotto, you hit it until it died. The military is used to thinking strategically about things like this. Usually they assess how fast something can move and whether or not it has ranged attack abilities. And if it cannot move quickly, you usually stay as far back from it as possible and do not engage unless you absolutely have to. Similar to the vine that you encountered. You get the sense that the creatures in here have some similarities to creatures in the grotto. Now thinking back about the vines and now this, aside from the way they look, there seem to be a lot of similarities here, actually. And as you look at your friends getting pummeled, you realize that if all of you join in the fray, these things are going to dispatch you very quickly.
Okay.
Roscoe, you're up.
Sorry, I had myself muted. I was like, okay, I can do this. You said I was on the ground. I'm not prone, am I? I'm just grappled.
You were grappled. Yeah, you're on the ground for flavor, but it's not going to.
Gotcha. Thank you. For lack of really any other option at the moment, oh boy. I guess I'm gonna try and take an attack on the guy that's got me, which gives me advantage because the guiding bolt. So I'll do that at least. I believe,
yeah, red has you. Okay.
Yeah, so that way I can at least do something for that. It's 21.
Yeah, that's
to hit. So that gives me, I need that, and I need these two. 16 damage total.
Okay, you cut into it for 16 damage. Part of like one of the vines, you managed to slice clean off, trying to get at some of the ones that holding you. It is replaced by another vine just as quickly that squirms out of the creature. And you get the sense that you are not doing very much damage to it. These creatures are clearly much stronger than you are.
For a bonus action, if I remember the way you rule healing potions, I can use a bonus action that I roll for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like like if I use a full action, I can do the whole thing, but a bonus action, I can still do that.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do bonus action healing potion on myself.
So you pull up one of the bright red potions that the king gave you and see on the instructions clearly labeled, drink slowly over the course of 6 seconds. You chug it as quickly as possible. Go ahead and roll for your health.
That's pretty good, actually. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, sorry. So 6, 7, 8. That's 8 points back. Which is, I had 9. So, anyway.
Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
All right.
Is there a way for me to be ungrappled or not? Not so much.
You can use your action to make either an athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do an acrobatics move here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's a nat 20.
Okay. So you managed to just sort of like wind your way out of this creature, grabbing some of the black muck next to you. You use it to coat the vine and allow that as sort of a flip your leg out as you push yourself to your feet. So that is your action, and then it's up to you what you'd like to do next.
Ooh, darn, what do? I want to help Brasco, but I can't really do any other action-y things, right? So
you can do a bonus or you can move, or both. So you may have access to some bonus action spells. You may use a bonus action to like do something a little bit more inventive that doesn't take a full action necessarily. If you want to interact with someone, call out to them, communicate any information. Right now, you guys haven't talked to each other since these things started attacking you and Brosco.
Mhm.
If you want, you can scroll down under actions, and it should have a list of things you can do for bonus actions. Oftentimes, like unless you're a rogue or a couple other classes, I don't think for rangers you automatically have a ton of bonus action stuff.
Not really.
To
I
move.
guess what I'll do is I'll hunter's mark the creature that has Brosco, and I'll move away from it.
All right, where would you like to move?
The
You can
green
move
stuff
30 feet,
is-
but keep in mind that
yeah.
this area is sludge, so it's difficult terrain. It'll cost double movement.
Oof. Okay.
Say
So
get yourself out of there, I think, personally.
Yeah. Yeah. And this the green stuff to the left is also sludge, or right?
It's like black muck versus deep swamp water.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they can traverse very proficiently in both of these. I guess I'll just move straight back right into the sludge. I can go. Yeah, because I can't go past these creatures unless they
You
have.
can go 10
can't-
feet over here, and then you can move like 10 feet here, which would be 20 feet. So the farthest you can get is over here in the middle of the sludge if you want to go through it. You can also move in this direction, but over here there's like
It's where the big
opening and-
thing. Okay. I guess I'll move into the sludge. Since I got hit really hard and I'm not really I'm kind of disoriented. I just want to get out. So I'm gonna move into that direction.
That's fair. Save yourself, babe. Save yourself.
Fair enough. Scrambling backwards, you attempt to flee. The green one is going to make an opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
The red one.
Ouch.
That's a 10 and a 22. So
Okay.
as you run back, you're going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
All right. So Hone, as you attempt to move away, you are struck down.
As a reaction, can I yell something at all?
Yeah, you can yell something.
Brassica's gonna be like, some help would be great.
Fair enough. Boria, you hear Brosco call out for help as you see Hone fall as he backs up trying to run away and something hits him in the head.
Oh.
You and then it's you.
All right. So I'm going to see.
So the water is difficult terrain.
Okay. So I'll go over here next to, oops, I gotta change. Haha. Yeah. For my movement, and then I'm going to guiding bolt the red one.
Okay. I will say you did see Julienne guiding bolt this creature, and you did see Brosco attack it. It didn't seem to do very much. You can hit it if you'd like.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
either that or Eldritch
ahead.
Blast. That's all I have that'll reach.
Go ahead.
If I don't drop the die. That is only a 11.
Okay, 11 does not hit. As you just sort of let loose a guiding bolt at this creature, trying to avoid hitting Hone, it goes wide, just sort of slamming into one of the branches of the tree, which sort of curls back in reaction to it.
All right. Oh. Okay. Let me see how far this is quick. Oh, they're not quite close enough. All right. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Beetle is up next.
Beetle is going to Ooh. Also move. Oh, I can't move Beetle. Beetle's gonna move next to Scory.
Okay, sorry. Let me. Okay, you should be able to move it now.
Okay. And then do, 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 do. An acid arrow attack at the one with the red dot.
Okay.
That is that's cocked. That's a 22 to hit.
22 hits. That's the red one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is 6 points of damage.
Okay. You hit it with the acid for 6 points of damage. One of the branch roots begins to sort of wither and is quickly replaced with another one that sprouts from its body.
Cool. And that is Beetle's turn.
Okay. Julianne, you are up. So you've assessed the situation. I don't believe anything has been said yet, aside from Brosco calling for help, but you've seen encounters like this before, and you know that once someone goes down, they will probably die if no one helps them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just a quick note. Do I know if they're responsive to sound, or are they just not able to be distracted in any way? It's just
this insight is mostly due to you knowing what happens when you encounter creatures that are clearly more powerful than you, as opposed to the creatures
gotcha.
themselves.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I am going to use my action to dash as far as I can.
I believe if you move at a diagonal between the puddles.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself around there. And while I am just full on sprinting, I'm going to use my bonus action to just shout, we need to retreat. There's no beating these guys. We've got to go. And then that'll be it.
Okay. All right. The red creature, I believe Brosco is still grappled, correct?
Mhm.
The creature is going to lose half its movement, so it's 10 feet over here, to drag you towards the mouth. It's going to continue grappling you, so it's raising the DC to escape from it. And as it does, you feel these vines continue to envelop around you and squeeze you. I'd like you to make a con save.
Uh, 16.
Okay. As this creature grapples you and squeezes you, you just sort of flex your muscles and just sort of stop it from squeezing your ribs hard enough to cause serious damage. But you were fighting against it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. The other creature, seeing Hone on the ground, is going to grab him and move him, get right up to the mouth. Roscoe, you're up.
I would love to try and break this fucking grapple.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check.
Oh, we're gonna go with acrobatics on that one.
Okay.
Oh, that is so delicious. It wasn't a natural 20, but it was a 19. Which is a total of 25 for acrobatics.
Okay. As you just sort of like push against this creature, it pushes you up against the edge of the tree, and this sliminess begins to ooze from it, almost as if it's salivating. Just like grabbing some of that, sort of pushing against it, you're able to wriggle out of the creature's grip, sort of crawling to safety, just managing to grab yourself and hoist yourself to your feet as the creature slowly begins to unfurl or sort of gather back in the tentacles that were grabbing you, and roots begin to splay out again, seeking for you once more.
I'm so sorry, Hone. Because I'm gonna bonus action dash.
Every man for himself.
I'm just like, I don't think there's anything I can do for you.
You can bonus action dash and and just get 60 feet away, or if you'd like, I believe you can disengage as well as bonus action. It's up to you. You will take 2 attacks of opportunity.
If I disengage, I won't, will I?
Disengage, you do not take attacks of opportunity that turn, but if you dash, you'll get farther away, but you will take attacks of opportunity.
All right, I'm gonna just disengage then, and I'm gonna get 30 feet away, which I'm gonna do.
Just sort of like ducking and weaving under this thing, almost as if he's in an obstacle course, as these roots just sort of like flail out like Whomping Willow style, just sort of smashing into the ground beneath him. He dodges through and dives toward the ground, getting a safe distance away.
And I'm gonna call out to the others, we gotta get Hone back up.
Hone, make a death save.
All right. D20, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. That is a 17.
Okay.
Goodness.
That's Scoria, you're up.
All right. Yeah, since the only healing I have prepared is Cure Wounds, I'm going to go ahead and dash my 60 feet.
Okay.
I'll go a little bit more. Okay, so
Get up there.
I will never not extol the virtues of a good healing word.
I did not prepare it for this.
No, I'm just saying it may not do much, but it sometimes is enough.
It's clutch, yeah.
Scoria, seeing like her new companion begin to be dragged toward this thing unconscious, just sort of like digs in her heels and sprints toward him. Just as Beetle, what is Beetle gonna do?
Beetle's also going to dash that distance and oh nope, didn't take any healing. I lie.
Beetle is right behind her, hobbling on her cane. I believe. Oh, she did move last round. She has feline agility, I believe.
Oh yes.
Kitty kitty.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so she will use the feline agility to get up there, and then could she use Entangle on Hone to keep them from pulling Hone farther away?
Oh, do you still have movement? Do you have an action left? I think you were back here, so it would be like 60 feet to dash over here, right?
Yeah, well, I moved her the 60 feet to get there.
And that would be and then what's the range on Entangle?
90 feet.
Yeah,
Nice.
You could definitely do that. That's very creative. You can take inspiration for that.
All right.
Baby.
Okay, so it's a strength 14 save.
Okay.
But I mean, since Hone's down,
That's fair.
automatically,
So you
yes.
Victoria pushes her magic into the ground. Not
Oh, Beetle does. That's Beetle.
Beetle does.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Beetle pushes her cane into the ground and closes her bulbous eyes for a moment. And several of the loose vines and roots that seem unaffected by this sort of strange swamp-like magic rise up and begin to encircle Hone. And for a moment, you think it's these creatures that are continuing to ensnare him. But you notice that there's a faint greenish, like yellow magic glowing from it. And Beetle seems to be like humming or purring ever so slightly as she concentrates.
Love you, Beetle. I love you, Bingus Beetle.
Okay, Julian, you're up next.
Okay. So
I was not paying attention to the Twitch chat. Chad did redeem a 1d4 healing. So Hone can take 1d4 of healing and be up.
Okay, you can take that on your turn, Hone. I just don't want to interrupt her.
That's so cool.
that's very cool.
Or does that take back? I don't know what the rules are for those things. Do we have set rules for chaos point?
It's chaos. There are no rules.
Fair.
I'm pretty sure. Let me find this one.
Fair enough. Hone, as you are lying unconscious, you feel sort of in the back of your mind as you sort of like begin to lose yourself with how hard you've been hit, a faint whisper of power. As this white green energy envelops you. You can go ahead and take your healing, and you are no longer unconscious.
Huzzah.
But you are grappled by several things.
Yeah, it's
You're alive, and it's not a big deal.
it's fine.
I'm at 1 hit point, guys.
Sometimes that's all it needs.
Yeah. But I wake up and I'm grappled and I'm just like,
Not your, but
yeah.
okay.
So Julian's going to use all of her movement to run up to Hone. You might have gotten, yourself woken up there, but I'm still going to cast another Cure Wounds on you because you seem like you're in rough shape. So another 8 points of healing for you.
Thank you.
Then I'm I'm an idiot and I'm in the space, but I'm going to, no, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do for now. And that's it.
Okay. It is then the creature's turn. So
Cool.
the green creature is going to try and continue dragging Hone towards the mouth. However, there are other roots currently holding it in place. So it's going to engage in a brief root tug of war as it makes an athletics check. That's a 16. So what's the DC for the vines?
It's a strength 14 saving throw.
Okay. Athletics is the same thing as its save. It's not proficient.
Yeah, athletics is strength, yeah.
Okay, so it rips Hone free of the vine. That's its action. So it'll use its movement. I think it can only do 5 feet since it's not dashing, essentially. And it's going to start pushing Hone into the mouth of this thing. So Hone, you watch as the tree opens and you see this sort of like fleshy interior that's sort of like dripping with some sort of mix of like slime, saliva, and sap, as these little tendrils that seem like tender little green shoots move outwards as if to greet you. The other mound is going to attack Julienne. So these roots are going to swing out at you, Julienne. That's going to be a 21 and a 10 hit.
A 21 will hit.
At the 10. And you're going to take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as the creature wraps itself around you. You were grappled, but not especially tightly.
Okay.
As you find yourself in this creature's grasp. That is its turn. Roscoe, you're up.
These guys don't really seem to have any discernible eyes, do they?
They have vague lumps that look like they could be heads, but no eyes as far as you can see.
Okay, that was worth a shot. I thought I had something I could maybe do, but it's not gonna happen. All right, I'm not a magic user for the first time in my life. Okay. I'm going to run up to Hone here and grab him, and I really would like to just utilize my turn to help him get away when it gets back to his turn.
Okay, so if you want to make an athletics check and try to pull him free, you can make a contesting check with the plant.
Okay, then yeah,
I'll manage on his turn. It's up to you.
I'll try to make a contested check to see if I can't get him out, and that would be what, athletics or just strength?
Well, it's athletics, so it applies your strength, but you can add your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in athletics.
I'm not, but we'll see if I can't do something fun with this, and I might use my inspiration on it. So I'm gonna use my inspiration on it.
Okay.
And I'm not great in athletics anyway, but we gotta get this guy out of here. Oh, okay. That's a 17.
Okay. You grab Hone and try to pull him free. The creature has him tightly locked in his grip. You struggle for a moment, and you guys tied. So I'd like you to roll again, just to see who was able to grab.
Could I like possibly help by like kind of like
By
Which
shimmying?
dice? Which
like
dice?
shimmying myself out like while that's happening?
Oh,
Just tense all your muscles as much as you can.
I'm gonna use Chad's dice pouch to roll. Oh, fuck yeah, baby! Natural 20.
You grab onto Hone and sort of digging your heels in, yank him out before you were trying, like, you know, he's an old guy, you don't want to dislocate anything, but you're like, oh shit, this is serious. And you grab him, sort of pulling his legs out.
Yes.
Your boot comes partially off Hone as the force of this enormous orc just sort of like rips you out of the grasp of this tree. And he just sort of like bear hugs you out.
Oh, fuck yeah. Because I don't have good athletics, so like they're really I can't actually add anything to it. So
Okay.
Well, at least there's that.
Is that your turn?
I think I used all my movement to get over here. Unless I no, because I used all my movement, so I can't dash.
You can bonus dash. You haven't used your bonus action.
I
You
probably can't, but I probably can't bring Hone with me, can I?
You can drag someone if they are willing at half your speed.
So
you can move 15 feet essentially.
Can I bonus action dash 15 feet?
Yes.
With Hone? I'm doing it. Hone, come on, bro. Oh, we're getting out of here, baby. Sorry, I always have to do my little, I have to check. Okay. So I'll drag Hone back about 15 feet here.
Okay. You drag Hone back. I'm gonna pull you over here, Hone.
Yeah.
As you do, the tree roots whip out, seeking you, trying to grab onto you again. They grab onto your wrist and tug, but you're able to pull yourself free as the creature just sort of like seems to be partially absorbed into this tree, the roots sort of glomming on and like connecting almost as it sort of seeks out with this sort of root-like tongue, whatever the offering had been brought to it. You are up next, Hone.
As I'm being dragged by Brasco, I'm just like, this time I'm okay being held.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be okay with that.
So as I'm being dragged along, I see Julian fighting the other monster. This is the creature that had the bones sucked into it, right?
The red one, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna call out to Julian after like that rude awakening, I guess, and like kind of noticing from over there and telling her like that creature that's attacking you has bones of one of the previous adventurers. We need to get out, but we also need to
To
get
survive.
yeah, survive and do something about those bones because we need that paper. It might be on that body. So
Good.
let's get out and then come and reconvene.
Which is Julianne in the throes of battle, like attacking this plant creature. She turns, and out of the corner of her eye, you see Brosco like bear hugging this elf, walking back. Brosco just the elf just sort of turns its head and calmly like gives you this dictation of orders. I'll be dragged backwards.
But yeah, I
Gloria,
guess
All right.
In the Beth of the Roll20 chat went in the arms of Brasco.
After seeing everything that just happened to Hone, Scoria is going to cast Shield of Faith, since that's a 60-foot distance.
Okay.
And you can add a +2 to your AC for the next 10 minutes, or until I lose concentration. So at least you'll be harder to hit.
is that for me or is it? Oh, that's for
you, yeah.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you.
And
Stay up.
then
anything else in your
gonna stay where she is for right now until people get farther back.
needle?
Beetle is going to cast wait, let me make sure I'm close enough for
Oh, no.
this. Oh, 5 feet away. Okay. Beetle is going to move around Scoria and cast Infestation on the one with the red dot.
Okay.
As a Constitution saving throw of 14.
That's an 18.
Oh, okay. The bugs are just like, nope, ain't going there.
They crawl back up on Beetlebug.
Shimmies and like a cloud of bugs falls out of her robe and then quickly crawls back in.
And I don't think they have a bonus action, but let me check. Nope. Okay.
Okay, Julianne, you're up.
Okay, given the very clear directions from Hone, can I
clear.
see what he was talking about? The bones and skull and stuff? Anything I can grab?
Maybe. Do you have a high passive investigation?
I mean, let's see. 14.
You can spend your turn making an investigation check if you'd like.
That feels foolish.
Or perception, whatever you prefer.
Oh God.
Disengage.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to break the grapple. I don't want to
Okay.
die.
Make an athletics or acrobatics check.
And I'm going to use Dusting of Luck so that you get an assist with that, and you get an extra 2 points on top of whatever you roll.
Incredible. I'm gonna go acrobatics,
Okay.
and that is
Oh.
a dirty 20 plus an additional 2
All
to
right.
shimmy
You
on
watch
out.
as Julianne begins to writhe out of this creature and seeing this, Scoria flings her hand out, and for just half this millisecond, you swear you can see this tiny gold like shimmer appear around Julianne as she pushes the root, and it just seems to give way in just the right spot as she's able to shimmy her way out from the creature's grasp.
Fantastic. I will use my movement to back away.
Is going to swing out at you as you go.
Fine.
That's a 17 to hit.
17 will hit because I had to leave my shield
Okay.
back because we're supposed to be politicians.
Yeah.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, great. It's the creature's turn. This seems to be stuck to the tree, and it's going to make an athletics check to break free. The tree has grabbed onto the creature, and the sort of like mouth area is reeling it in, like tongue opening it up, almost as if like dissecting it, searching for whatever is inside. The red one is going to move towards creature closest to him and attack Hone again. That is a 17 and an 18 to hit.
Oh my goodness. Get hit, Cone.
Hone, you're going to take 12 points.
Is that with the bonuses to your AC?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
12 points both times. So 12 points and then an additional 12 points, depending on how many hit points you have, that may make a difference or not.
Yeah, I am already down. So
does the first hit bring you down, or
first hit?
Okay. So the first hit brings you down, and then you have 2 failed death saves. Because being hit while you're down, it's 2 failed.
Awesome.
All right. Roscoe, you're up.
I'm going to bonus action dash to get 30 feet away.
Okay. The creature I'm sorry, I should have specified. When it hits you with an attack, you are grappled. So Hone is currently grabbed by the creature.
Can I try and pull him out of the grapple again?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's an 18 for I don't add anything because my strength is
Right.
very
You
average,
once
but
again grab him and just continue to sort of like make him back as you bear hug him again, pulling him out of the grip.
all right, so I guess I'll do another 15 or if I have
Yeah,
my
you
full movement, I can do the full 30 because I could dash.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, cool. So I'll just do my little. I'm dragging you out of here, bro.
All right.
Woo! As I run by, I'm like, let's go.
Fair enough. Hone, make a death save.
Let's go.
Shit. You have two death saves.
But you can add your Constitution modifier.
That's still, it's 10.
That's it's 10 or above that makes it.
Yeah.
So you just make it.
I don't smoke, but I'm gonna need a cigarette.
Oh boy.
Scoria, you're up.
We keep almost killing the old people.
Okay. Gloria is going to run over to Hone and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Hone, you feel a hand on you, and this like bright bloom of fiery energy like kickstarts your heart as you like awake again, once again in Brosco's arms.
I rolled the highest number, so you get 10 hit points.
There's
Nice.
like this purple fire haloing Brasco's head and you're like in his arms, and it's kind of hazy, like, why does this keep happening?
That was, however, my last spell slot. So
Beetle is up next.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we will figure it out.
Beetle is going to be like, all right, we should move backwards now.
Go ahead.
Move away.
All right. Are you doing anything with your action?
I don't know that she has much.
You can dash, you can cast a spell, you can make an ability check. Which is coming in, dropping some bugs, and then scampering back up. She immediately turns tail and hobbles back towards the group.
Yeah, Beetle doesn't really have much that's gonna help.
I think
Okay.
I think our best bet at this point is to just back the
Yeah,
fuck up.
yeah.
We need to
So
run away.
she can dash
Julianne, you are up.
over here.
Fantastic. Julianne is absolutely going to be booking it back. But as she does, I would like to cast just a quick bane on the two trees, just so that
Okay.
moving forward, maybe they won't have as much, opportunity to
Luck.
kick our asses.
Uh,
Yeah.
You sort of wave your hand, and you can't necessarily see anything, but you feel this sort of like clunkiness in their movements, almost as if like some sort of speed or life force has been pulled from them ever so slightly. Their movements a little less assured, a little less precise with their hits.
Okay. And then I'm going to run very
Okay.
fast.
All right. It's the creature's turn. This one, having failed twice, is going to be absorbed by the trunk for now. You watch as the tree fully envelops it before slowly beginning to close up again. It is currently about halfway open. This one is going to move 20 feet towards you guys.
No.
Actually, it can dash. It's going to dash, but it'll lose its action. You sort of like shambles towards you, like moving almost as if like on arms that don't quite work, as these roots just sort of like bend and snap as it sort of like it frantically tries to get at you, just sort of like tendrils seeking out for anything. Roscoe, you're up. Or just, I guess, before we continue going in turn order, is anybody doing anything besides running away?
Did Hone like say out loud at any point, because I can't remember, that what we're looking for is attached to this tree monster?
Yeah, I mentioned it to Julianne, but I don't. Yeah.
Okay, so then we would have overheard. All right.
We might have.
That's all I needed to know for it then, because
Yeah.
I'm think we should try and get that still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might. I think Brasco's probably gonna. Now that we kind of pulled it away from the tree some, I do feel like if we maybe coordinate, but
Okay.
I might.
What
Yeah.
do you guys?
You said it's my turn.
If you guys are planning to still
Brasco's
fight
gonna.
it, if you guys are still planning to still fight it, we will go in turn order. But if you guys have a different strategy, I don't want to just cycle through this one at a time if you guys are running away.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yes, Brasco is
Just
up.
I guess out of character, guys. Do we want to just keep?
At least try and get the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to just kind of. I'm just gonna sort of like. I'm assuming since Han is in my arms, he is technically in front of me. So I'm just gonna let him go in front of me, so maybe he can be just on the other side of me. Is that okay?
That's kind of pushing it. You've been dragging him behind you so far.
All right. In that case, I'm going to let him go and move over to this side.
Okay.
And I'm going to take an attack against this creature and or can I search this creature? Can I do an investigation to try and
You can use
see?
your action to make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then Han, I think you should move away from this thing. Just personally speaking, I think maybe you should back up. That was cocked. Also cocked. Okay, let's rearrange that. That's much better and not tilted. Investigation is +5, so it's 16.
Okay. Glancing through this thing, kind of as the roots are sort of roiling and moving apart, you do see a small gap, and there's a glint of white bone and potentially like the curve of what might be an eye socket.
All right. Actions. I can't bonus action reach my hand in, can I? Not necessarily trying to grab it, just kind of reaching toward it.
You can do that.
All right, I'm gonna shove my hand in this thing to make an attempt to just grab it when I see it.
All right, you like wait, just sort of like eyeing this as the roots sort of undulate back and forth, seeing that flash of light. You dart your hand forward, and your hand closes around something both curved and spiky.
And I'm just gonna call out, Hone, get back away from this.
Hone, you are up.
Will do, my fellow man. So I guess, yeah, I'll disengage and then back up 30 feet.
Hone is you. Complete neutral monotone respond to Brosco as he sort of like panicked, just grabbing at this thing. You are sort of bob and weave as if avoiding a predator as you slowly back away from this thing.
Yeah, and that was my action to disengage, right?
Yeah, so 30 feet brings you over here.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do for now.
Okay.
I'm just to say I am technically at max hit points because I have an ability every time I get I didn't say it over the last few times, but I've been keeping track of it. Every time I do use the dash, the 2 times if I use a dash action, I get +2 temporary hit points. So I'm kind of okay I'm pretty okay for the moment, health wise, or as okay as I can be with 21 hit points.
That makes one of us.
I mean, that's my max, so it's not going to get any better.
Scoria and Beetle, you guys are up.
All right. Well, it's right there. Gloria's gonna go ahead and cast the cantrip Primal Savagery. And you just see as like she puts out one of her hands and claws grow out of it, and she's gonna take a swipe and try and like cut through the area that's next to the bones to try and loosen them.
Okay, I would say Brosco, on your turn, if you want to pull this thing free, you'll have advantage on your roll.
Ooh, thank you.
Should I still roll the hit and damage and all that?
I'm assuming it's a flavored help action, but if you want to...
Yeah. No, that works. I don't worry about doing the damage. I just want to do that. And then I know I'm going to take an opportunity attack, but I'm gonna move back.
Okay.
Skedaddle.
I think that misses unless your AC is 10.
No, it misses. I have a 14.
Hey.
The creature swings out at you, but you just sort of like dodge nimbly back, like turning sideways as you dance away from it. Beetle's up.
Okay, Beetle is gonna stay where they are. I'm gonna cast Entangle on the tree to try and keep it in place so that it can't continue to follow us at least for a minute. So that is a strength 14 saving throw.
Okay. And does it make it on its turn or when the spell is cast?
That's a good question. When you cast the spell, must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained.
Okay. That is a failure.
Woohoo! And that is their move.
All right. So Beetle once again like concentrates, and these roots move up and intertwine with these creatures' feet, anchoring it in place as it flails around. Julianne, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to continue to back away. Don't want any part of this. And then I think I'm just going to, let's see, am I still in range? Yeah, I'm just going to shoot a gentle sacred flame at the tree.
Just a gentle.
Just a really sweet. So that's a Dex 14. Oh, I'm sorry, the creature.
Okay.
So it's a Dex 14 save. Or else
11.
Ooh, okay. Look out for 1d8. That's a solid 4.
Hey.
Right. You watch as Julianne concentrates, and this black sort of like fiery fire that creeps up around the creature, stripping some of the protective coating of its roots as it just sort of like tries to move out of the way. Actually, that's true. It should have just auto failed because it can't move because it's grappled, but it failed anyway.
Cool.
All right, is that your turn?
Yes, that's it.
All right. The mound is going to use its action to attack Roscoe, who has its hip up to the elbow submerged in its body.
The things I do for love.
That's a 14 and a 22 to hit.
14 misses, 22 hits.
Okay. You're going to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as this creature slams into you. You're grappled currently.
That's totally fine.
Go.
And it's my turn, right? I
It is
think.
your
I'm going to, with advantage, I guess, try and yank this thing out of this guy's body, existence, whatever it is. Which,
if you're using brute strength, make an athletics check. But if you can think of an interesting way to flavor this, you can do a different kind of check.
I think I might, if I could do it with acrobatics, maybe I'm watching to see when the roots loosen or roil in a certain particular way and then yank it out at the right moment.
Okay. So I would say then make an athletics check with either your dex or intelligence modifier.
Okay. I do love me some dexterity, so. Okay. That one was 13. Woohoo, that was a shitty roll, but the first one was really good. So, or decent anyway. 13. It's a 17 total.
All right, you wait until the roots sort of like move and roil, as some of the roots have to retract from around this thing in order to grapple you. And you wait for the right moment, allowing it to hit and grapple you, bracing yourself against the hit. And as soon as the roots pull back, you yank this forward. And the majority of the skeleton, I would say like hips up, comes out. You are holding the eye socket and tooth of what appears to be a dragonborn skeleton.
Ooh,
Like a
okay.
bowling ball?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I said, I now what? Like, now what? That was my action, right?
Yeah.
So can I like bonus action maybe like just kind of lob it behind me? Not in with any particular real effort, just to get it like away from me, the skeleton, so that it's not within absorbing range again.
You can get it over there.
All right, cool. And then I'm gonna say I gotta get out of here now. Yeah, and that's my turn.
Fair enough. Hone, you're up.
Is it possible to see from this distance, like if I can do I have to come closer to investigate the skeletal bones and be like,
Closer.
hey?
What is your passive investigation?
Good question. 15.
Yeah, I mean, glancing at it, you notice that sort of like crumpled in part of the between several of the teeth, you do see a piece of paper.
Nice. Okay. Hey, let's run back and help him get out of the grapple.
You're gonna die.
I'm gonna do it. So what is it to roll to get him out?
Roll an athletics check as you put your long elderly elf arms around Roscoe and give a tug.
It's 13.
Okay. You have inspiration if you want to use it, but I would say
Oh, okay. So how do I use? Is that advantage?
Yeah.
Use it. A bro
just
doesn't leave a bro behind.
I can't leave my
as
bro.
inspiration, and then you no longer have inspiration. You just re-roll.
No, I'm sticking to 13.
Okay. You wrap your arms around Roscoe and give a tug, and nothing happens, and you realize this is a lot harder than Roscoe made it look.
Can I like
He's like, appreciate it anyway, brother.
can I just grab the paper from between the teeth and just I found it.
Sure.
I found it, Roscoe.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
I guess yeah, that's
Sorry,
the end.
you and Beetle are up.
Okay. Crap. Gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast at it to try and distract it.
Okay.
That's a 10. I don't think that's gonna hit.
Yeah, the Eldritch Blast goes wide as you aim, but then realize, like, as the creature is moving back and forth that you might hit Roscoe, you let it go wide at the last second to avoid hitting your ally.
All right. Then that's all for Scoria, and Beetle is going to. That's already done. That's all gone. She's gonna shake her stick at it and be like, "You let go of my friend," and that's it, because there's nothing
Okay.
she has that's gonna help.
All right, Julianne.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go back in there, I guess. Seeing that everyone is not indeed retreating like I had hoped, I will move closer to them, and then I'm going to. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself because
Okay.
I need to be alive to be able to help anybody.
No, it's very
That's
true.
a valid point.
Very true.
So I will farts. I'm gonna channel. I don't know. I heal for 5. It's bad. It's bad here.
You run up, like, screeching to a halt, like, heal yourself before you jump back into this.
I'm
Feel
ready.
your body begin to wear out as you just sort of, like, feel the toll that this encounter has taken on you. I mean, the creature is going to start dragging Braska back.
I understand.
Oh, it's still entangled though.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
That's
Yes.
a good point.
Also, it has Bane, so that's minus D4 for any of its rolls.
Thank you. That's going to be okay. So strength. Oh, it's strong.
18.
That's a 18, but it's minus a D4.
Yes.
So 16.
Still
To break
beats.
the grapple. Okay, so it's going to use its action to break the grapple, but it'll only be able to move, I guess, 10 feet as opposed to 20 because it can't dash.
Okay.
Fair.
So it's going to sort of yank its roots out and slowly sort of drag Brosco forward. Brosco, as the vine begins to tighten around you, I'd like you to make a con save.
Beans. Ooh, actually, I'm very lucky tonight. I'm being incredibly lucky tonight because I'm making all these rolls that I don't have any pluses to. But that's a 19 total for the con save.
All right, again, you're able to just sort of like brace against it, and as the roots begin to constrict, you keep your arms out, stopping it from crushing your ribs. It's your turn next.
I would like to try and break the grapple. Yeah. Oh golly, it's not good. Yeah, 8.
You try and squirm out of the way, but you're unable to get yourself out of its grip. It's got you tightly. It seems to have a pretty firm hold on you.
Yeah.
Right? Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're up.
My bro. I'm gonna try to get you out.
I mean, there's also
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Yeah, 18.
Okay, you grab shouting out as Brosco is dragged away. My bro, in a flat monotone.
My
Hone
bro.
strides calmly forward, and Brosco attempts to pull out of the grapple. Hone is sort of like eyeing, like waiting for the right spot, grabs onto him and yanks, just sort of like spinning him free into like a dance dip as he the vines like unroll from him. You are no longer grappled, Brosco.
Phenomenal.
And then if you'd like, Hone, you can drag him backwards. It's up to you.
I can attempt to, yes.
So you've used 5 feet of movement, and it's essentially difficult terrain to drag someone. But you can move 2 squares backwards with him if you'd like.
I will do that. I'm
All
holding
right.
his hand.
A little bit of distance is all we need right now at this point, personally.
Brosco, as you are pulled away, the creature is going to take attack and opportunity against you.
That's fine.
I'm assuming that's going to hit. It's over 20. You're going to take an 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, I am still alive.
It lashes out at you.
It's a wonder.
Still alive against all odds.
All right. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Going,
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
Is
now
anyone
we're running.
Sides go? Okay, I would say we are essentially out of combat as you guys book it out of there.
Run so fast.
I'm that run, you know that run you do when you're kind of staggering a little bit, but you're getting there.
Yep.
As
Strong
you,
hand.
as you stagger out of there, trying to get away from the creature as it shambles after you, fast, but not as fast as you. Eventually, I would say with Hone leading you guys, you are eventually able to sort of make your way through enough of the marsh that it loses chase. We're going to go ahead and take a break there, and we'll come back in 5 or 10 minutes so you guys can lick your wounds.
That's for damn sure.
All right, and we're back. So fleeing from these plant-like monsters and this devouring tree, you guys, with the piece of paper in hand, or a piece of paper in hand, sprint away into the marsh. Hone, with your survival, I'd say you guys are able to trace your way back easily enough to where you can get to a somewhat dry patch. It's pretty muddy, but I would say it took you, like maybe 2 or 3 hours to get where you were. And I'm assuming you go like maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes back. So you're still a lot closer to the tree than you are to the cave. But you're able to find a space to stop and collect yourself.
All right. So
Did
sure they
we get
won't
what we
follow us.
needed?
I think so.
Yes, he holds the magical paper out. Thanks to Brasco hauling out the skeletal remains out of that creature.
I'll
We
pull
got-
the piece out that I have and just like so we can compare and see.
Yeah.
Okay, is anyone proficient in Arcana?
No.
Nope.
You don't know.
Nope.
No.
And there's something written on both parts of the paper. The one that you have is longer than the one Hone has,
Cool.
but you're uncertain of whether this means it's incomplete and you need to do something, or if it's just a shorter piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Brasco's just gonna sit there for a few minutes and just kind of. All right, 2 HP.
I think before we go anywhere else, or try to investigate any further, we need to take a nice long break. Should we go
Maybe
back?
we should go
the
back to the cave and make camp for the night.
I would like that. I would like that a lot.
I think
'Cause-
that's unfortunately our safest option.
I'm oh, you got healing, Brosco. You have a D4 of healing from Steve.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Oh, Steve, my man. Let's see. Ooh, 3.
Nice.
I always roll decently on a D4. I don't know why.
Magic.
I feel like I always. All right, 5 hit points is better than 2. Yeah, I think Brasco's just gonna, you know when you have to stand up from a crouch and your knees make noises. It's that, and he's just like, "Let's go back to the cave."
We really should.
All right. Making your way all the way back to the cave, make a survival check for me, Home. Since the area is forested, you can roll at advantage.
Advantage. That's nice to know.
Call it out if you're ever in favor. It's survival checks, and I believe history checks to recall information, or nature checks to recall information on the area.
Okay. Yeah, so I have 18.
Okay.
Love that.
You're able to guide everyone back, covered in goop, absolutely disgusting. You all stink of swamp, and as Hone leads you back, it seems that the vines are a little less interested in you. Fewer try to drop on you anyway. Perhaps it's Hone leading you through the same patch again where they missed their prey before. You guys are eventually able to make your way back to the cave.
It's
Yes, a
nap time.
nice long nap, because I have no spells left.
I think we shouldn't venture too far in, but we should stay far enough away from the outside.
We'll get towards that patch that we burned,
Yeah,
I think, and maybe we should also have somebody take watch. That way we can all
absolutely.
sleep a little safe.
So the way I do watch is I don't really count out how many hours you guys are on watch, but we use it as a role play opportunity where 2 people are awake at a time. So you can choose who to wake up next. And then if you would like, you two will have time to role play during that time you were on watch. Or you can just make your perception checks and be still.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the
Brasco?
light is still fairly dim, fairly muggy. It doesn't seem to have changed at all since you guys first arrived.
I mean, Brasco's gonna at least get a fire going, maybe with Scoria's help. Just so that they've got something going on.
Are you going to go out into the swamp and try to collect wood?
No.
Do you have
Well, there was some debris in here, wasn't there?
There were mushrooms, and there were the rest of what used to be someone's pack.
Never mind. He's just gonna put his pack under his head, or he'll sit there and be like, "Does anyone want to take watch with me?"
I mean, I'm good health wise. I just need them spells back. So yeah, I'll sit watch with you.
All right. Well, everybody else, settles in to maybe get some rest. I'll do a perception roll. Do you want me to do
help.
it? Yeah. What is my perception? There we go. Ooh, pretty good. Dirty 20.
Okay. Keeping an eye out. I'd say the next few hours pass fairly uneventfully. You do see a few things move in the distance, but nothing that seems to be coming specifically towards you as you shelter under this rock bed. If there's any conversation you'd like to have, you can have it. If not, say your watch passes peacefully.
Yeah, Brasco's mostly silent. He's pretty beat up and I don't know how chatty of a mood he's in at the moment. I think he just wanted to get first watch out of the way so he wouldn't have to wake up in the middle of it. So he's just sitting quietly and keeping an eye out for the night.
So Hone will trance, so he doesn't actually need sleep, but will meditate. And do I have any dreams that occur during that time?
Maybe we can get to that when Scoria and Brasco finish their watch. Scoria, was there anything you would want to do or say during your watch?
She's just kind of vibing and like I keep forgetting I have that. Like eating a little bit of a snack from rations and just like, well, at least nobody was absorbed and we got 2 pieces of the paper. I guess that's good.
Yeah. I think there's one more to go. I think.
I hope it's only one. But do we even have anybody that can like cast this?
I don't know. We've got you and Julianne maybe working together with maybe Beetlebug. Maybe you guys can figure something else out together. I can't I can't read a scrap of magic.
Yeah, maybe if we all work together, but this is not what I'm not built for this, damn it.
This is not what I have been trained for. That's for damn sure.
Scoria's like bemoaning the state of this fancy dress that she has. I mean, I guess at least it's not my silk that's ruined.
I think, well, I guess think of it this way. Once we get back, we're going to have to tell them that we were sabotaged much in the same way that they were 20 years ago.
Well, I mean, as long as we get out of this and back to anywhere with civilization, we'll at least be one step closer to what they sent us to do.
Fingers crossed. And I do know at least a little bit that sometimes in these weird places, time moves differently. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's happening here. Or...
I've never been in any other dimension as far as I know.
Not me either, but those bones and everything. I know enough about decay that the stuff we found in those caves and those bodies, that's
unless the vegetation speeds it up. That could also be a thing.
That's what I'm hoping for, and it's not some weird magic bullshit. I don't know.
Magic bullshit is unfortunately far too often a thing.
Yep, nope. not something I engage with usually, ever.
I mean, I like to play with the flames, and I can occasionally heal people, but
You're talking to a man who's got nothing. I got knives. That's what I got.
man with
yeah.
knives. Ha ha ha.
Very sinister. Yeah, I think they just maybe chit chat. I think that's all he's got in him, honestly.
Retiring. As you move to wake Hone and Julianne, you notice Scoria, as you move to shift Julianne, she is hot to the touch, as if she has like a fever. And sort of shaking her, her eyes like flutter ever so slightly, but they don't move. Eventually, like shaking her a few times, calling to her, her eyes will flutter open and her skin begins to cool down. Julianne, I'll just read it out. As you have these fever dreams, you glimpse a swirling of smoke, a world choked in fire, several of the visions from your past beginning to come back to you. Strange sigils and runes in 2 layers, the typical ones that you saw, white with flecks of green, and then one with intense violet light on top of it. Various portals, doors, stone carvings. You're not quite sure what it means, and the same 2 figures once again. As you see these over and over, there's a sense of urgency to it, but the mysteries do not reveal themselves. You wake to Scoria shifting you.
You okay, Cher?
Yeah. Just a dream. That's all. Are you both ready for a rest? And Julian will sort of sit up and try to compose herself a little bit. Beetlebug.
That's Beetle in the middle. Beetle's having a real good dream. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Bresco claps Julianne on the shoulder a little bit. He's like, it's pretty quiet. So
Let's hope it stays that way.
Yep. He'll put his head on his pack and just.
As you trance, the world in front of you fades out to an extent. And you see somebody much, much younger than you, but with very similar features. This beautiful boy with sort of like a boyish face, no scars, smiling, reaching out to you. You hear the name Barav repeated over and over and over, sort of echoing in your head, as if in a question. The boy looks concerned, and you feel yourself pulling away, stepping away from this person. You get the sense that this person doesn't want you to go as you back away from them, and turning, the dream shifts, moving into another familiar dream. The corridors of what seems to be a palace, some sort of like bold like residence decked out in various shades of periwinkle and pale blue. The outlines of runes, half remembered, hovers in the air in one stone room, an outline to what you know is your task. This is not the first time this dream has repeated. This is the dream that you've had before. However, now it is more clear. You get a slightly better sense of place, not necessarily how to get there, but the place itself, seeing the runes with their silvery magic ready to be inscribed. You blink back, and for a moment, your mind wanders to the scrap of paper still clutched in your hand. And as you look at it, for a moment, you see a flash, not necessarily of something that has already happened, but you do see the rune with the skeleton next to it complete, etched into the stone as the rest of the rune was. The paper sort of lying scattered and discarded next to it, with the same white and green speckled light shimmering as you saw in your previous vision. And as you hear Scoria speak concern to Julianne, you sort of blink yourself awake.
All right.
Okay. Let's say Julianne and Hone, it is your watch now. Make a perception check.
Sure.
Perception check.
That is a 16.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not 20.
All right.
You see everything.
Looking out into the haze, you see indistinct shapes moving, writhing. You notice the shapes off to the west writhe a little bit more fiercely. Slowly keeping an eye through the duration of your watch, you notice as they begin to roil ever so slightly, becoming more agitated than the other areas. Very, very slowly. You almost wouldn't notice it.
You should
All
keep an
right.
eye out for that.
Yeah, I relay what I see to Julianne, and with a bit of concern. After what we've been through today, I feel that we might have to go there.
I mean, you died a couple of times today.
Not the first time. Yeah. Not the first time dying, but yeah.
I'm fairly comfortable with death, but this is really scary. We've had some trouble. I think we need to be especially careful. And I don't know if when we get all these pieces together, if we'll even be able to find a way to use them. I will try.
Perhaps I may have had a dream or a vision about these runes, but I'm not 100% sure what to do, but I can try to help if needed. I
Yeah.
would also like to get out of here too.
Did you just have a dream, or was this from before?
Just now, upon waking.
Oh. Do you have dreams fairly often, or is this?
Again, I don't sleep. I trance, and sometimes dreams and visions come to me. Many a times from my goddess Fiava. She guides me on. I serve her, and I try to satisfy her needs. Interestingly, before I met you, I did have visions of this party that we all had.
All of us?
Yeah.
So when I walked up to you that day in the town, you already kind of knew me?
Yes. As much as I didn't want to at the time, but
Fair. I frankly wouldn't blame you if you still wished you didn't know us at this point, but
he chuckles. He's although we're not at a desirable situation, I am very grateful to have companions such as you all. He kind of like trails off saying that.
Julian will sort of just let him have time. I think she can tell that he doesn't talk much, but she'll definitely keep an eye out using her very extensive dark vision to keep an eye on anything going on outside of the cave.
Scoria, you don't have any dreams of note. Brosco, you do, but you have this weird, strange dream that's like a mix of these clammy hands of the swamp creature you encountered, mixed with this like familiar face framed by like this haunting harp and viol music. And there are these like familiar strings sort of humming in your hands as you play along with their harmony and like the singing of the swamp troll. It's a little weird. You kind of like wake from that, kind of glancing around at your companions. You do feel better. You all have very sore backs.
It's fair. So the pieces that we have, is it very clear that we need to find a few more then? I really just don't want to go back out there. This is terrible.
I mean, you can inspect them, you can look at them compared to the rest of the circle. You can, it's kind of up to you what you'd like to do.
Yeah, what'd that book say, Han? Did it, there was some, like, a couple extra pieces, I think. How many were there? 3?
Not very good at memory right now.
Yeah, there was 3 different party members that went in different directions that each had a piece. So we're technically just missing 1 of what the book says.
Yeah. Can I take both the pieces and, despite not having any arcana knowledge, just kind of compare them to the book versus the sigil on the floor?
Sure. You'll have a limited answer based on what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think he's mostly just looking for patterns and
can I help Brosco as well?
Yeah, you can look over it, try and identify patterns. You can roll with advantage, Brosco.
That's very exciting because that sucked. That also sucked. 8.
Kind of glancing at it, like you do see that there's a curve to some of the runes, and it looks like it fits maybe like where some of the missing curves are, but you're not really sure what order they go in or how big to draw them or if they're finished.
Well, I can't really make heads or tails of it, but it looks like we're at least collecting the right stuff, and it looks like we are at least on the right track. I can't really say much more than that, but it looks kind of okay. It looks kind of right. That could maybe go. Yeah, kind of.
We might need more.
Yeah, we probably need more. And probably need
I
more
mean,
eyes.
I can do magic, but I don't actually know much about the background of it. I have a -1 in Arcana.
Does anybody have a positive to Arcana?
Beetle 2.
Bug has a +2 as well.
Okay, so we're not entirely shitty. Okay. Maybe we can all put our heads together later after we get the 3rd piece. That's kind of what I'm gonna roll with.
Is everyone feeling okay today?
Yeah, I think Brasco's doing some stretches this morning. He's kind of tilting his back, rolling his shoulders, doing some, trying to get loosened up. But he looks a little bit better than he looks a lot better than he did last night.
I think we should be especially careful, especially if we're moving into that sort of foggy mist.
Yes, absolutely.
Agreed.
I think we've learned some things.
I don't want to, I don't particularly like putting myself forward in this way, but I am a little more covert and quiet than the rest of you, so maybe I should take point and just try to be as silent and stealthy as I can as we move forward.
Yeah.
All right. And then I had a question. What was it? Fuck. Brasco does the same thing I just did, where he's like, wasn't there something in the book about one of the people got swallowed up by the earth? Do you think
Yep.
we've already found that piece, or we still got to try and figure out what that's about?
I don't think that we have that.
Yeah.
So if you'll remember, looking back through the book, Hone, you see that journal entry reads that they set out, they were immediately attacked. One of their friends, Selenar, was killed and absorbed by the earth. DeJorn, realizing the dire straits they were in, managed to put a protection on the remaining 4, so to protect them from that, though they weren't sure how much it would do against the creatures that tried to attack them outright. It would just stop them from being taken by the earth, essentially. And then he stayed behind and tried to start the sigil, and then realizing that these plants were beginning to come at them, everyone else split up to try and complete the mapping so that the teleportation circle could be drawn in the place where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, the best we can do now is just set out and try to do our best here.
It's a new day. Hopefully we can do something with it.
Hopefully, once we get all the pieces, we can figure out how the hell get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's the plan. And all right, and Brasco's gonna lantern up and start heading to the end of the out of the cave and into the mist, I guess. What else can we do?
Perfect.
As carefully as possible.
As the party steps into the mist, it coats you. You feel like a tingling on your arms as this acidic power envelops you. Scoria, you have a different reaction. Your power seems to intensify, as if like the mist is drawn to you and your power is drawn to it. Not like it's calling to you, but as if it complements your power in some way, a song in harmony with the flavor of your magic. This cloying sweetness to your bite of heat. It envelops you, and this sense of power and magic flares within you, racing like wildfire along your magical sense as you feel yourself sort of like ignite. You guys watch as the runes, the tattoos on Scoria begin to glow faintly, more than they usually do.
Scoria's gonna cast produce flame in her hand just to see if it does it normally or if something more happens.
You cast produce flame and it appears even brighter. The purple turning almost white. It becomes this incredibly intense violet on the outside.
Interesting.
Something, all right.
Do you feel all right?
I think this mist is making me stronger.
That's great news.
It's weird, but I like it.
All right.
The rest of you are not doing as great. I'd like everyone else to make con saves for me. Could you make for please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a 1. That's not.
You haven't
Okay.
Maria, does this is this for anything related to harmful gases and vapors?
Yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful.
Beetle got a 17.
Okay. Beetle is fine.
You said it was Constitution?
Yes.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Natural 20 for 21.
Sons of bitches.
You're fine.
I got an 8.
Okay. Hone and Roscoe, you were not quite as recovered as you were previously. As you sort of like fight and wheeze through this thick fog, it becomes harder and harder to breathe. You're currently exhausted.
Fucking of course. Oh, this happened in our session 0. So mad.
Oh.
Right. As you move forwards, the fog becomes denser, progressively denser. Make a survival check for me, Hone, at disadvantage.
Okay. 9.
Right. As you move through the fog, you begin to hear just sort of like faint whispers from just around somewhere, like just off in the distance, not somewhere you can see, not so much as to be distinct. I would like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Natural 20 for 26.
You're fine. They remain whispers that don't quite affect you.
16.
You can hear them off in the distance, but you know they're not real. You feel fine.
17 for Beetlebug and a 7 for Scoria.
Scoria and Hone, as you hear these whispers, they become a little bit more distinct and they start solidifying into something that you recognize. Hone, you don't quite recognize exactly who it is, but you know the voice is familiar as it calls out to you. However, it is not calling out your name. It is calling the name Barav. But you know somehow that it is for you. And as the voice calls out, panicked almost, you feel a sudden urge to try and like help whoever is there. You were compelled to move towards the voice. Scoria, Beetle is next to you, but as she is next to you, you can hear another beetle calling out in the swamp. And you feel that that beetle is more real. The beetle next to you may very well be an imposter.
Scoria is gonna like look over really confused and like pull away from Beetle and be like, who are you? Why aren't you the real Beetle?
Beetle kind of twists her head a little bit. What are you talking about? What's this nonsense?
The real Beetle is out there calling to me. You have to be an imposter.
You can hear her voice tinny and frightened. She needs you now. Whoever it is next to you, the real beetle out in the swamp needs your help.
Can I grab Scoria's arm and just kind of shake her? Like, hey, whatever you
Scoria
got.
tries and shake Brasco off to run towards the other beetle.
Opposing strength checks?
So it's either athletics or acrobatics to get out of a grapple, and it's athletics to grapple someone.
Okay.
Oh, what are you?
So I'm gonna do acrobatics.
I rolled athletic. Yeah, I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 2. I rolled a nat 1.
You grab onto her and she just sort of flails aimlessly.
Like, come on. You think there's two different? You think anybody in their right mind would try to mimic I almost called her Bingus, Beetlebug.
Oh, you hear the voice calling to you more urgently. You can tell it's in trouble and there's something bad happening out there.
Yeah, I'm booking for it.
All right. Hone leaves.
See ya.
Hone, where are you going?
They're calling out to me. I have to help them.
You think there's anybody else in this swamp but us?
Yes. They gotta be there. They
Think
gotta
about
be.
no, think
Fair.
about it.
You walk off
Sorry.
into the mist. Hone is gone.
Sorry.
Right. Hone, you continue through the mist, hearing the voice here and there, kind of moving left and then right, unable to find exactly where the voice is. As you start to get closer to where you believe the voice is, you notice that the ground is softer beneath your feet. You wade into water, realizing that the voice is continuing out, sort of starting to wade in. You in the distance, the rest of the party will hear splashing as Hone begins to move forwards into whatever is off in the distance.
Julian
You're
will
letting
follow.
Hone go after whoever. Let me go after the real beetle.
I wasn't trying to let Hone go off after. There's nobody out there.
Yes, there is. I'm telling you.
Well, then let's go follow Hone, and I'm gonna follow after Julianne with Scoria.
That works because the voice is coming from the same direction. So Scoria, you're getting what you want. You move over and you see Hone shoulder deep in the water, beginning to swim out. You can't see anything else out in the distance, but you do know that there's very deep swamp water here. And aside from that, just purple mist.
How far away is home from us?
I don't know, like 15 feet maybe.
Oh, great. I am going to I'm going to reach deep within and say a prayer for our just incredibly stupid group of misfits, and I'm gonna use my channel divinity to cast Twilight Sanctuary again,
Okay.
enveloping all of us, and for both Scoria and Hone, it can end an effect like being charmed.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then the rest of us will get 1d6 plus 3 temporary hit points. So that'll be 6 temporary hit points for those of us who are not charmed.
6, you say? I love that.
Yeah.
As you wade into the water, Hone, the voice is still whispering, loses its clarity. You kind of blink yourself awake, coming to your senses, realizing that whoever from your past is calling to you, they probably aren't out there. Scoria, you would realize the same.
Come back.
I'm sorry. I swear you were out there, not right here.
It's all right.
Hone's a little disoriented and also very wet.
Please don't make us come in and get you.
Just
This place is not great.
Just keep yelling at me so I know where you are as he tries to like
over here
his way out.
Wee
Follow back here, please. Thank you.
Marco.
Hold on.
Slowly make your way out. Absolutely disgusting and drenched. Like you can tell that this water has been stagnant for a long time as it slowly leaks off of you.
You smell like beetle.
Do not ever say that to me ever again.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
Scoria kind of leans over and sniffs. Yep, similar swampy smell.
All right. Well, let's try and
recalibrate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll another survival check.
Is that also at a disadvantage still?
Advantaged.
Can I help?
You can, then it will be a straight roll.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that would have been 16 then.
Okay. Kind of disoriented. Every time you close your eyes, you see that sigil that you dreamed, the one next to the skeleton, sort of pressing forwards. It's disorienting. The bright white and green light just sort of like bothers you as you, every time you close your eyes, it gives you like when you look at a really bright light and you're like temporarily blind for a moment, every time you open your eyes, you have that, you have to blink. Every time you blink, you see that bright light. You feel disoriented as you sort of stagger back and forth. And the rest of you would notice, even with your passive perceptions, that Hone there's something going on with him. He's clearly like, it looks like he's been concussed maybe, staggering back and forth, clearly not doing well, but he's eventually does find the path, or at least some sort of path, and is able to move forward a little bit. Hone staggering forward, you eventually see one area that looks more clear than the others, and a faint light up ahead, and unclear of what exactly it is. You start to make your way towards it. The rest of you would notice that there is some sort of light, until finally you come upon what seems to be a pedestal sunk into the ground, fairly large. There are a number of holes where it looks like the stone has been blasted apart, and seems fairly deep, and 2 stone statues on either end of it. On the other side, faintly lit, are these glowing balls of floating light that look like they're just sort of hovering, marking a path deeper into the mist where everything gets so dense it's basically opaque. On this pedestal, there is an enormous stone throne, and around it a sigil of runes, which appear to be glowing faintly.
Oh.
let's stay as far away from this as we can.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
I would say against one of the stone, or sort of half in, half out of one of the stone holes on the pedestal. I would say over here. I forgot to place a skeleton on this one. Is the part of the body of what seems to be a humanoid skeleton.
Well, that's promising, but
Okay,
Do I want to try and be very careful and move my way over there to check out the skeleton? Is that what we want me to do, maybe?
let me look at Beetle's stuff quick, see if there's nothing that'll pull it closer.
could I pick up a rock and throw it into one of the holes?
Okay.
Probably at the hole.
The
This
one that's
one?
closest to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't throw that far, so it's got to be
Pick
the
up the
closest
rock,
one.
right into the hole. Roll a d4 for me.
Oh,
I don't-
jeez.
I don't like the color that my little cursor thing is. I'm changing it.
Oh, shit. That's a 4?
Okay.
Oops.
Don't hear it land.
Okay, so that's kind of scary.
How do I do this? Oh
Saw
no.
little blue spots appearing, and I knew
I'm
somebody was
sorry. I don't
struggling.
know how to use this.
It's okay.
Oh
I've done
my-
the same. I do the same thing. I'm bad at it.
If you could
Um,
just delete that, that'd be great.
Oh, God.
So there are glowing runes and there are some statues.
And there's holes, which something either lives in the holes or something made those holes.
Yeah, and this is a throne. Things sit in thrones. And I don't particularly care for that glowing path.
Yeah, not
It
a fan.
seems to be luring someone, something, us over there.
Can I make my way around this big pedestal towards one of the statues? Like, I want to go around the perimeter of it and take a closer look at the statues from. I don't want to step on the platform.
Before Brasco does that, Scoria is going to cast Sanctuary on him.
Nice.
Gracias.
So, any creature who targets you with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. So
Love
it'll be
that.
harder for things to hit you.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, so I'm gonna make my way around carefully. And
I'll follow carefully as well, but only about halfway.
yeah, I'll let you guys know. I think I'm just gonna go around the perimeter a little bit and see if I can't get a better look at those statues.
I just know the farther apart we are, the
I know.
more
I'm
trouble
not
we
trying
found
to,
ourselves in.
Fair. Slowly around, making your way to the statues. What are you trying to discern about them?
Is there anything about them that seems indicative of, like, does it look like maybe the base or anything, like there were other statues here and those are what the holes are? Or I guess I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can discern from these statues that may give us a hint or a clue as to what precisely might be going on here. Just anything that might stand out to me.
Make an investigation.
Scoria is going to keep pace with Julian for healing purposes, because
Okay.
I did prepare healing words
same.
for this day.
Oh, we love a healing word. That's a 19 total.
Okay, glancing at the statues, you see that written on the underside of, like some of the armor plates, some of the arms, are a series of magical runes. However, I don't believe any of that you can read them. So you would just know that they're magical. Glowing faintly, you notice that the base that they're on is a slightly different colored stone from the stone the statue is made of.
Okay. Can I lean in a little bit closer to just see if it looks like the different colored stone is fully connected, or does it look like it's a swiveling situation?
Does not look like it's fully connected.
Okay. I'm gonna head back to the group and say, Now, I can't read magic, but it looks like these are magical, and it looks like if my hunch is right, if we step on there, it's gonna see where we are and attack us. I think that's what the holes are, because I don't think the base is connected. It looks like it can move.
Oh, what if we've seemed to find ourselves in a lot of situations that perhaps could have been avoided. What if does anybody have rope?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I do.
I also have rope. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh nope, I lied. Oh nope, yes, there it is. I do.
Fantastic.
Yes, no, yes.
So what if we just go fishing and we throw the rope attached to, I don't know, one of our packs or something at the skeleton and just bring it back in?
I have a crowbar. I also have a hammer.
I mean, I also have rations. I don't know if that would be bait enough or
to lure a I just mean fishing for the skeleton and whatever else might be.
I think that's a decent idea. Let's see. I have 50 feet of hempen rope.
I do too.
And that's only about 30 feet. So
okay, except we should maybe go at a different angle so as to avoid yanking it into the hole that it is right next to.
That's a good point. That's a very good point that I didn't think about. Very good.
Because when I threw the rock, it went on forever, and I'm not willing to jump in that far.
Yeah, I'm going to take a couple of the pythons that I have in my pack, and I'm going to sort of make a little bit of call it a makeshift grappling hook. So they're just crossed at the bottom, and tie the rope around so that there's kind of like an X, but it's just a sort of. Does that make sense?
You're just tying it on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a little bit of makeshift grappling hook. I don't think it would ever hold any of us, but at least for the purposes of dragging a skeleton, maybe it'll hold.
We also, just fair warning, any movement on this surface might very well trigger whatever is happening. So even if it's not us, but maybe, I don't know. This is maybe very stupid, but
can I climb this tree?
Sure. Make a nature check.
All right. Ooh, that was weird. I'm not going to do that again. I like, rather than throw the dice, I like threw it that way. So it like hit my TV screen that's sitting here. I was like, that's not going to do anything I want it to do. Oh, natural 20.
Damn.
Ooh, right. Exciting. For a total of 21.
Oh my God.
Looking through it, you can tell that this tree is dead, and you can climb to the bottom base of it, or like where the main branches are. But it has been dead some time, and you can tell that if you put weight on any higher branches, it will break.
All right, so I'll just get towards kind of to the base of it so that I'm at least just kind of, I just want to be kind of next to the tree, but not on the platform.
Sure, I'd say you can get another like 5 feet up just of height if you want to look down on something.
Right. So I'll just, can I say I'm on a branch here and I'm not actually on the platform because I'm trying to make it, oh, that works, that's better. I was like, how do I?
You from below.
All right. Do we think that's a good position to drag?
So that's a much longer way to drag it.
Yeah, but I don't want it to go in the hole.
What if we moved up over me? Nope, that's still even farther because we don't want to drag it into the hole.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's I mean, the worst case scenario is I could maybe go here, and that's about 45, which gives me 5.
We could use the advantage of height in throwing it, and then you can come down, we can move around and then pull it from a different angle. But just in terms of getting it.
Okay, that's a good
throwing it. What if maybe if you hook the skeleton And then we pull the rope over the branch, and then we pull it slowly that way, so it's lifting a little bit, so that
Well,
it's less.
I like the idea of having a little bit less distance right here, and then I can get down and move over us a little bit. Let's try that
Yeah.
first, and then we'll kind of see how things go, I guess.
If there's any indication that the skeleton is going to fall into the hole, we just drop it and we'll hedge our bets.
Reassess.
Okay.
Maria, what would you like me to roll to try and hook this motherfucker?
So that would be like an improvised weapon roll at disadvantage because of the like the range that you're throwing it at.
Okay. So.
Wait, before you go, guidance.
Woo! I can add that to a weapons roll or an attack roll?
An ability check.
Ability check.
ability
Okay,
check.
well. All right,
Well, I mean,
disadvantage.
I'm sure one will come in handy.
I would say this is close enough to an ability check because you're not attacking it. You're taking your time. This is a dex thing, so
Okay.
you can go ahead and apply it for the purposes of this.
Come on.
Ooh, okay, that's great. One of them was a natural 20, but the other one was a 14, and then I can add a +4 or a D4.
D4, yeah.
All right. So do I add anything else to that, or is it just
You would add your
my dex?
or strength.
I'm gonna go with dex to that. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 total.
Okay. Sort of swing this out like a lasso and let it go, and it lands heavily over the body. And for a moment you think you've missed, and then as you start pulling it back, it catches on a rib cage, and slowly the skeleton starts to be dragged outwards.
All right, I'm gonna give the rope some slack, come down from the tree, and move over towards Hone a little more.
So it is very delicate what you have, and the skeleton is half in this hole. So I would say this is just going to be a skill challenge check.
Okay.
So if anybody can think of something that will assist with this and would like to contribute, you can lower the DC for the final roll.
Is this relying on dexterity still to sort of like gently pull it?
I'm assuming
Out
that
of there?
Roscoe is slowly pulling it, but if you can describe something you would do to assist him in that, you can.
I would love to enhance Roscoe's abilities.
Okay.
Oh, it's a dexterity check. I'm going to dust it with luck.
Ooh,
Okay.
luck
So
dust.
it's D4 at advantage. So it would be dex check at advantage, straight roll.
So straight roll for a dex check and then a D4? Is that what?
Mhm.
The dusting of luck, you get 2 additional points onto whatever you get.
Automatic too. Okay,
All right.
cool.
Fingies
Or-
crossed.
Or Beetle doing anything.
I'm going to give him words of encouragement.
Okay.
Okay.
Or like,
so
is it possible for me to like kind of see from afar, since I have like kind of pretty good vision, like to make I don't know.
Like pinpointing where something like
Yeah,
along the
like-
way, if it's like a shitty outcropping of rock or.
Yeah.
yeah, you can do that. I would say you can move to a different height and just sort of like call out with your perception anything that you think would get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be advantage or just.
It's not advantage. It lowers the DC every time someone helps you.
Oh, okay. So straight roll
And
plus D4.
Is Beetle doing anything?
I'm
No, it's
looking.
sorry. She has a guidance reaction that she can do, and then she also has a main cleric ability that she can do. And dusting just lets her add half her proficiency bonus to your roll for a certain check.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that Beetle really, again, has it. Oh, let me check spells, because I could. Oh no, I can't manage the spells, so I can't swatch Benny out. So I don't know if she's got anything better. That's okay.
I'm just realizing you can only see like half the map on Twitch. Oh no.
So +2 plus my dex.
She's just going to be very encouraging in her old crotchety way.
That is a dirty 20.
Right. So you watch as you ever so slowly, with this nimbleness that this sort of like sleekness of like grayish white magic leaves you, very slowly pull and pull and pull, pulling the skeleton steadily closer. At one moment it gets stuck, and Hone is able to sort of like navigate you to move to a slightly different point to get around this outcropping of rock that it's onto, eventually very slowly dragging the skeleton upward and off so that it is dangling in the branch.
Do I see a piece of paper on it anywhere?
No. You do notice that there is like a ragged sort of like decaying pack dangling from one shoulder, and around the skull there is a simple circlet.
Can I reach out and grab the skeleton and pull it off the platform or off the branch?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna just take it off to the ground and be like, I think we're okay.
Could I casually investigate the circlet without touching it?
Yes.
Just with my eyes.
Make a perception check, but
Okay. That is a 14.
it's still shiny despite, like the years of just sort of being here. It doesn't seem affected by anything. It looks good as new. It's pale gold.
Could
Love
I-
a possibly magic item?
Could I take the bandana that stinks like beetle and use that to touch it? I don't want to touch this.
Okay.
I don't want to touch anything in this godforsaken
It's
place.
very fair and reasonable.
So I would like to do that and just put it in a
Okay.
pack or something to deal with later.
Yeah.
So you pull it out
Yeah.
with the bandana, and as
Yeah.
you do, notice that on the inside there are a number of runes inscribed on it that appear magical.
Oh. I will just sort of hold this out specifically to Hone. Does this look like what is written in the book, the journal?
What check should I make for that?
I mean, I guess you could compare it to some of the pieces of paper you've collected.
Yeah,
I'll pull out the one that I have. I
Uh,
can,
I'll
Okay.
just take a look.
Make an Arcana check at advantage, since it seems Julianne is also looking.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet 19.
They're completely different.
Oh.
I'm gonna look through this decaying, desiccated pack.
Okay. You move through it, and several things like come to your hand that are really gross. Like it's clearly falling off and sloughing.
That's fine.
Mildew everywhere. Your hand has this like black mold on it when you withdraw it, but there is a piece of paper in there.
And I will
Hmm.
very carefully take that up and hold it up and say, I think we got it. I hope so anyway.
Is that it?
Does it look at least like the other pieces of paper?
I mean, there's stuff written on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is it. It's equally as illegible and impossible for me to read as the other ones were.
Fair
Right,
enough.
so fucking
Do
dumb.
you think but the circlet, is this something that they had with them the whole time? Is it something that they took and put on and then were killed here?
Could I, having used my history as someone who at least travels in certain circles of maybe not that legal or nice things, take a look at
Bad
this
boy.
and just nobody's asked me about my backstory yet. and just try and get a wager on whether or not this looks like something that might be either curse magic or regular magic, despite not being proficient in Arcana.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
It's worth
Roll a
shot.
bad boy check.
Yeah, roll a bad boy check.
Well, I would say,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, history, you said?
Mhm.
I like history.
I mean, I think
History
there's a modifier unless you're proficient in one.
I get to add a +1 to that, so that's a 13, baby.
I mean, it doesn't look like anything. Like there were one or two things that you saw multiple times where you're like, "That's gonna kill you." It's not one of those things.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll take a look at it and be like, it could be shitty, but at least based on the things I've seen in the past, things that are gonna kill you, you usually can pinpoint that right off the bat. And if it hasn't, I mean, it's definitely got to be special in some way because it hasn't decayed or been tarnished. Unless anybody can identify it, then I don't know. But I don't think touching it inherently is gonna. I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I don't-
seem harmful.
I don't know that I can glean anything from this. I don't have anything that might help me, but maybe we could find somebody who does at some point.
Yeah, I say put it in your bag and we can figure it out at a later time. But right now, I think we need to worry about figuring out that sigil in the cave.
I'm
Get
still not
the
going to touch it.
hell
That's
outta
fine.
here.
Don't
Going in
you
the
know,
pack.
that's more than I would do. Yeah.
All right, so you guys head back.
Yeah.
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 All right, you do head back.
Wait,
As
as we're leaving, can I take another shitty rag from Beetlebug? I don't know if it's smart or maybe perhaps more dangerous, but I don't know if we should listen as we walk through. That seems to, set some of us off. Should we like plug our ears? Or is that
Decent
exposing
thought.
us to worse danger?
Well, and Brasco's saying this as he's finding a puddle to wash his mildewy hands off of. I just realized. Rather,
puddle-
not clean, but
The puddle is
I
acid.
would rather swamp water than black mold. He just wipes his hands off on his pants. I mean,
I
it's a
would say
decent idea.
you guys are pretty dehydrated and hungry.
Uh,
Let's I guess plug our ears and try and stick together. It's the best thing I can think of.
yeah. Let's go.
So plug in your ears.
Yeah.
All right,
Mhm.
go ahead and make a survival check. I would say straight roll if someone is helping you.
Beetle will help since
Okay.
they're proficient in survival.
Okay. 18.
With your ears plugged and the mist sort of at your back, trying not to look too much at it, you're still having trouble, Beetle or Hun. But as you move forwards, despite the light spots, you're able to gather yourself and bring your friends back to the cave. I'd say you guys have safely arrived here. At this point, you can hear your stomachs growling as you move forward, move back to the cave. You are disgusting, super grimy, super gross. Your lips are chapped. It has not been a great few days, but you do make your way back. Papers in hand. What
All
would you like
right, let's put these down and see if we can't figure this out.
Yeah, let's do that, I guess, and just try.
Okay. So you move over to the sigil. I believe one was removed, but there's still another cluster of mushrooms sort of pulling at this. You can tell that the sigils are ground into the ground to some degree. And there are several blank spots.
So there's mushrooms that are like in our way that need to be dealt with, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Scoria is going to, from a little bit of a distance. Oh, where is it?
I love exactly where you're going with this. I used to do this playing Jack and Daxter all the time.
Gonna go ahead and try casting Frostbite on them to kind of like freeze them and see if they can like crack and not like poof out the stuff.
Okay, work. Make an Arcana check just to see how well you can control how that affects the mushroom.
We're all very good at Arcana, so this is going to be good.
Ooh, even with a -1, that's an 18.
Nice.
You're able to spend your magic through, and with this sort of enhanced power that you got from the northern part of the swamp, you're able to wrap your power easily around this and sort of like flash freeze it and easily yank it off without releasing any spores. So the sigil clear. You guys have 3 sheets of paper. You have a sigil.
And you mentioned that the sigil is not really quite completed. Is
Yes.
that okay?
I'm gonna take out my crowbar and approach the sigil and be like, all right, let's try and let's see if we can figure out where the pieces need to go so that we can carve it in. And I'm just keeping my I'm gonna use the crowbar, I think, eventually, not right now, to like etch in the pieces that we need to etch in. But for right now, I think he's just being like, let's take a look at it and see if we can't figure out where it's got to go as a group, because none of us are going to figure this out on our own.
So you sort of look over, glancing at the different pieces of paper. Hone, you're having trouble looking at this because every time you close your eyes, you're seeing those sigils.
When I close my eyes, does it look complete to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can I?
Steve just did gift advantage in the chat. So
hey, Steve-o!
Steve, get us out of this place.
I'm sure it'll take some time, but could I possibly like look at the sigil and close my eyes and like look at the pieces of paper and like try to piece it together to see like if I could, try guiding Brasco like where to etch things?
I would also like to guide Hone in this matter.
So Hone stands over, kind of taking the pieces from Brasco and like looks at them, closes his eyes like for several seconds, looks at them again. Yeah, I mean, they would fit in, but you have sort of, like etched on the inside of your eyeballs a map of exactly where they should go.
Okay.
So
that's good. Can you just draw it completely and then we can use the completed drawing to finish the etching?
Love that idea.
Yeah.
Just for scale and
yeah.
Everyone's handwriting's different.
I guess, is there extra pages in the journal that I could use to like try to etch it? Like, I don't know.
There are, I don't think you have anything to draw with unless you
That's what I'm thinking. Should I just do it on a different piece of the ground and like try to draw it out?
I mean, I've got wood carver's tools if we find some wood.
I have a tinder box. Could I light something and we can use the like ash as charcoal?
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, I'll start burning shit up a little bit.
Yeah, we're just looking for some like twigs or something. We've all done it. We've all lit a piece of stick on fire.
We have the already slightly smoky vegetation from the fire.
True.
It takes a minute, but you guys are able to burn away something that is close enough to charcoal that you feel like you can etch something with it, at least something small.
Okay.
Cool.
So I'll do my best to etch the completed sigil onto the journal and show it to everyone so they can make those comparisons, I suppose.
You do that, and as you start to draw the sigil in, you can tell that this sigil itself, like, you were not good at drawing, but as you draw, you create a perfect circle. You create like the exact lines that you see in your vision, almost effortlessly. And you guys watch as like, you see this like gorgeous artistic talent that Hone has thus far kept secret.
I have half proficiency in performance, a +5. I can help by being like, oh, just there a little bit so that it's a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, the only reason I came forward with the crowbar and stuff is because I have high dex. So I thought,
Yeah.
I can maybe be the one to carve. I don't know.
Well, this looks great. I mean, Brasco, do you think
I
we should
mean,
just go for it?
I guess if you guys keep me on track and show me what to do and where to go, I can at least cut these symbols into the rock as best I can.
A very quick clarifying question. Hone, when you see this image, what do you feel? Is it a good feeling or a bad feeling? Because if maybe it's one or the other, I mean, I don't know much about this, but if, you know, a rune is off, it could send us to another plane that we don't need to be on. I mean, do you get any sense as to?
Other than just throbbing head pain, it feels that this is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Yeah. All right. Can I do well, I'll guide Brasco again.
Is the another quick question. Is the sigil drawn in with like, is it actually like etched into the ground, or was there like a different material, or like
It's etched to the ground and is glowing faintly, as if it is magically imbued in some way.
All right. I'm gonna, I guess, following the guidance of those with me. What you gave me guidance.
Yeah.
And is somebody helping me or?
Well, I mean, we're all. I mean,
just wondering if I have advantage or not. I don't like to presume.
I can help. Yeah.
I'm assuming I would be helping too.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Brasco leans down to start chiseling this as everyone hovers around him, and Hone, you can see just by the angle of his back that he's going to do it wrong. And you, like, kind of like thinking about it, know exactly where to place that chisel, despite previously not believing you had any knowledge in carving in stone. You feel like pretty self-assured in exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and he's not doing it right.
Wait. You kind of just. I think I'll do this. Can I?
Yeah. And I'll hand off my like python and hammer that I was gonna just like, and I'll hand it off to him, and I'll happily help and just try and, like, if I see his hands getting shaky or anything, just try to steady him a little bit.
Hone, you move this back and forth with the expertise of a calligrapher. You are grating against the stone, and as you do, it sort of sinks in to depress beneath the feet, like the point of this crowbar. As you etch these runes in, a really bright white light flecked with green begins to emanate from what you're drawing with. Tracing over the previous sigils, the glow becomes stronger and more pronounced. And as you finish, the glow intensifies. As it does, it begins to lift up in a cone of light And the rest of you realize like Hone just activated a spell. You have like a moment to react to this.
I'm jumping in.
This is incredible.
Let's light this candle and go, bitches.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's get in here.
I'm jumping in.
Fair enough.
I'll follow.
I make sure I have Beetle's arm hooked in mine.
As the cone of light blasts upward, sort of illuminating the cave for just a brief second, you all jump into the circle as you feel yourselves begin to dissolve. And we will pick up there next week.
Oh God.
we at least made it away.
Because I realized today I have no rations. I thought I had rations.
Well, we were supposed to be going on a political mission. I have nothing.
Thank you so much to everyone for watching. Just to remind you, next Tuesday at 1 p.m. we have Watercolor Wizardry, followed by at 4:30 p.m. MissGuided Magic again. Tomorrow at 6 we have Chaos Commentary. Thursday at 5 p.m. we have At the Threshold, and Friday at 7 p.m. we have Solemn Exterior. Chris, is there anything you'd like to plug or say before we go?
Monday also we have Artena, my 5e.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And yes, and also Madness Takes Artena, which is our other long-term game run by Chris. Allison, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, catch me on Saturday over at Exquisite Corpse Presents. We're about to go into the wild blue yonder of post-apocalyptic California. It's going to be great. And then you can see me.
My character and another are having issues.
It's great. It's good stuff. And then you can always catch me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
All right, Kristen, anything you'd like to plug?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm only here, so just hang out.
And Beth.
Same. I'm here every Tuesday. Get excited. And I'm on social media at Beth Masco, and that's about it.
Great. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere at Maria Oglesby Art. You can also find me on Etsy, where I do commissions for custom PC art and pet portraits. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.